It started with a call no one could have expected, the kind of story you'd swear was fiction if it weren't true. A rescue team received an early morning alert. A wild Mustang stallion had been spotted lying motionless in a remote canyon for over 12 hours. Buzzards circled overhead. From a distance, it looked like he was dying. But when the team arrived, what they discovered beneath his massive body changed everything. It was a crisp October morning when Dr. Maya Hartley and her team from Wild Roots Rescue got the call about an injured Mustang near Silver Hollow Canyon, 30 miles outside Denver. A hiker's voice crackled through the radio. "There's a stallion down. He hasn't moved in half a day. I think he's dead." Maya didn't hesitate. She grabbed her gear, loaded the mobile vet unit, and set out with two trusted team members. Daniel Reyes, a large animal specialist with years of experience handling traumatized horses, and Emily Carter, a young but remarkably gentle veterinary technician with a gift for calming frightened animals. They reached the canyon just after sunrise. The terrain was rugged and unforgiving, jagged rocks, loose gravel, and steep drops. It wasn't the kind of place anyone wandered into without knowing the risks. And then they saw him. The stallion lay motionless on the rocky ground, his chestnut coat glinting in the early light. His mane spread across the dirt like spilled ink. His powerful body curled protectively around something unseen. At first glance, it looked like a tragic end, a magnificent animal brought low by age or injury. But something felt off. "He's not acting like a dying horse," Daniel murmured, adjusting his binoculars. "He's guarding something." Maya studied the stallion's posture. His head was up, eyes alert, ears twitching. Every few minutes, he lowered his muzzle toward the ground beneath him, as if checking on something hidden. "Let's wait before we move in," Maya said, raising a hand to stop Emily from readying the tranquilizer gun. Minutes passed, then 10, then 20. The stallion didn't move. When a raven landed too close, he let out a sharp neigh and drove it off with a fierce stare. "I've never seen behavior like this," Maya whispered. "He's hurt. Look at the blood on his shoulder. But he's not trying to escape. He's staying on purpose." Daniel squinted toward the stallion. "There's definitely something under him. Small. And it's moving." Maya's heart pounded. In 2 decades of rescue work, she'd seen mares guard their foals. Stallions fought for territory. But this was different. "We need to get closer." Carefully. As they approached, the stallion tensed. His muscles twitched beneath his coat. He was clearly in pain, but not helpless. He was on guard. Maya moved slowly, her hands visible. "Easy, big guy. We're here to help." The stallion shifted slightly, tightening his body protectively around whatever he was hiding. Pain flickered across his face, fresh blood staining his shoulder. Then Emily gasped. "His leg." Maya followed her gaze. Deep gashes ran down the stallion's front leg, signs of a fall or something worse. The wounds were infected. "Without treatment, he wouldn't survive. He needs medical attention," Daniel said. "Now." But the stallion refused to leave. His pain didn't matter. Something else did. His entire focus remained on protecting whatever was beneath him. Maya made a risky decision, one that went against protocol. She stepped forward, slowly, cautiously, until she was just 10 feet away. The stallion reared slightly, hooves pawing the air. Pain flashed across his face, but he didn't retreat. Then, for just a moment, he shifted his weight enough for Maya to see. Her breath caught. She stumbled back. "Oh my God, what?" Emily called. Maya couldn't speak. What she saw defied every law of nature. Beneath the stallion's protective body wasn't a foal. It wasn't another horse. It was a human infant. Wrapped in a pink blanket, tucked safely beneath the stallion's belly, lay a baby girl. "Marcus!" Maya shouted. "Bring the camera. No one's going to believe this." The stallion lowered himself again, covering the child protectively. But Maya had seen enough. "A baby," she whispered. "There's a human baby under that horse." Silence fell over the team. "That's impossible," Daniel muttered. How would a wild horse end up protecting a child? But there was no denying what they'd witnessed. The stallion hadn't been guarding food or territory. He had been shielding a helpless human life. Somewhere, a family was probably frantically searching for their missing child. And here, in the middle of nowhere, a wild stallion had become her guardian. Snapping out of her shock, Maya acted. Call 911. Get emergency services. Child protection. The sheriff. Emily fumbled with the satellite phone. How do I even explain this? Tell them the truth, Maya said. They can decide whether to believe it or not. Within the hour, the roar of helicopter rotors echoed through the canyon. Medical personnel, law enforcement, and social workers arrived, but the stallion didn't move. When the helicopter touched down nearby, he forced himself to stand, despite the pain. He positioned his body over the baby, shielding her from the swirling wind. Blood dripped from his wounds. He trembled from exhaustion. But still, he stood, unyielding and defiant. Maya felt her eyes sting with tears. He was magnificent. He didn't know what the helicopter was, but he knew it was a threat. And he wasn't going to let anything harm his baby. Time was running out. The stallion was deteriorating quickly. Blood loss, infection, and pure exhaustion were overtaking him. If they didn't act fast, both he and the baby might die. I'm going in, Maya said. Sarah prepped the tranquilizer gun but held it as a last resort. Marcus stood by with emergency supplies. Maya advanced with practiced calm. Step by step, she closed the distance. The stallion's ears swiveled, tracking her and the team. When she was 15 feet away, he let out a low, rumbling warning. Then, something shifted. The stallion made a sound, soft, soothing. A gentle hum, directed downward. Maya froze. He's talking to the baby, she whispered. She sank to her knees to appear smaller, less threatening. The stallion's ears came forward. His muscles eased, just slightly. You know I'm not here to hurt her, don't you? She murmured. She crept closer. 10 feet. 5. 3. Then the stallion did something no one expected. He lowered himself again. Slowly, carefully. Not all the way, but just enough to let Maya see the child while still protecting her. Maya's breath caught. There she was. A little girl, maybe 6 months old, wrapped in a dusty pink blanket. Her dark hair peeked from under the folds. Tiny fingers clutched the fabric. She was moving. Weak, but alive. Hello, sweetheart, Maya whispered. We're gonna get you out of here. The baby turned her wide, serious eyes toward Maya, and smiled. Tears slipped down Maya's cheeks. The stallion watched the exchange closely, then made those soft, soothing sounds again. He's telling her I'm okay, Maya said softly. She reached out slowly. The stallion didn't move. Her fingers brushed the baby's warm skin. She's alive, Maya called out. Get the medics. As Maya gently lifted the child into her arms, the stallion tried to rise. His injured leg buckled, but he followed her, step by step, refusing to leave her side. Dr. James Mitchell rushed in and took the baby, immediately beginning treatment. She's dehydrated, he said, checking her vitals. But she's stronger than expected. This horse, he saved her life. Maya turned back to the stallion. His legs were trembling. The adrenaline that had kept him upright was fading fast. She knelt beside him. You did your job, she whispered. Now let us do ours. Later, the investigation revealed a heartbreaking truth. The baby, named Isabella, had been left behind by her mother, Jessica, who was fleeing an abusive relationship. Terrified and desperate, Jessica had driven to the canyon, believing she was leaving Isabella somewhere safe until she could return. She never imagined how long she'd be gone, or that someone else would find her daughter first. That someone wasn't human. The stallion, later named Thunder by Isabella, had become her unlikely guardian. For days, he sheltered her from the cold and rain, kept her warm, and fended off predators with nothing but instinct and fierce determination. And somehow, he succeeded. Weeks later, Thunder was on the road to recovery. Maya set up a temporary field station in the canyon with portable shelters and feed. He accepted treatment, ate well, and allowed Maya's team to care for him. But he constantly watched the sky, waiting for the helicopter to return with her. 2 weeks after the rescue, Maya received a call from Dr. Mitchell. Something strange is happening, he said. Isabella won't calm down unless we play recordings of horse sounds. Maya glanced up at Thunder, standing silently on the ridge. She bonded with him, she said softly. Over the next few weeks, the story spread across the country. Media crews gathered at the canyon, hoping for a glimpse of the legendary stallion. But for Maya, the true miracle came next. Isabella was struggling in foster care. She cried constantly and refused to eat. Maya proposed something unthinkable. A reunion. Under strict supervision, Isabella was brought back to the canyon. As soon as Thunder heard her cry, he lifted his head and let out a joyous call. Isabella stopped crying instantly. She reached out, he stepped forward, stretched his neck, and when her tiny hand touched his muzzle, Thunder closed his eyes and let out the softest sound Maya had ever heard from any animal. For over an hour, they stayed like that, Isabella babbling, Thunder responding with gentle nickers. Dr. Mitchell monitored her vitals. She's thriving, he said in awe. Her stress is down. Heart rate's perfect. It's like she's home. In the end, an unprecedented decision was made. Jessica completed rehab and counseling. She was reunited with Isabella, and with special permission from the Bureau of Land Management, a small cabin was built in the canyon. Thunder was granted permanent sanctuary. Isabella grew up surrounded by love, from her mother, from Maya, and most of all, from the wild stallion who had once chosen to be her protector, T.O. This day, they remain inseparable because love knows no boundaries, and sometimes the greatest protectors come from the most unexpected places. If this story touched your heart, hit subscribe for more incredible tales of courage, connection, and the bonds that defy species. Leave a comment below. What would you do if you found an animal protecting something precious? And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because sometimes the most extraordinary families are formed not by blood, but by love.